Hello, beautiful people. I'm so excited. Today I'm going to be talking about helpful tips and tricks that you can use. Actually, just like that you should know, not that you can use, that you should know if you're planning on coming to Vietnam. Okay, so there are 4 things that I think are very helpful to know before you come to Vietnam. This video is really focusing on Americans. If you're from a different country, my last 3 tips will definitely benefit you. However, if you're not from America, the first one doesn't really count because it's very specific to Americans. All right, moving on. So let's start with the visas. There are several different types of visas if you want to come work, live, or visit Vietnam. To start, we're gonna talk about a tourist visa and a business visa. So a tourist visa is, I think, self-explanatory, but that's for if you wanna come, visit the country, you want to have a good time and see what life is like in Vietnam. A business visa is if you want to come and work, if you want to start a business, if you want to expand your business, if you want to do business in Vietnam, you need a business visa, which is cool. So both visas, a tourist visa and a business visa, come in 3 months, 6 months, and a year. That's the time frame, the duration of those visas. If you have a tourist visa and you're from America, you must leave every 90 days and do what's called a visa run. And that pretty much means that you have to leave Vietnam and come back in. This is really important to know because if you have a 6-month or a 12-month visa and you don't do it, 1, they can not let you back in the country, and 2, it will cost you so much money, it's stupid. So just know that every 90 days you have to do a visa run. All right, that's 1. 2, with business visas, you do not have to do a visa run. So you can stay for up to a year and not have to worry about leaving the country and coming back. With that being said, on a tourist visa, you have 6 months and 12 months where you will need to do a visa run and come back. And both the tourist visa and the business visa have there are 2 options. One option is what's called a single entry, and the other one is a multiple entry. So single entry means you're coming in this one time, and when you leave, you leave. And multiple entry is just that you're coming and going in and out of the country. This is important to know because if you have a tourist visa and it's 6 months or longer, you need to get a multiple entry visa because you have to leave every 90 days. I've seen people that have gotten a single entry visa for 6 months and I'm like, how did you do that? And then they have to get a whole new visa. So they paid for 6 months, but they had to get a new visa when they came back in, and so it was just not the business. So if you're getting a 6-month or longer tourist visa, get a I don't know why I'm having trouble with that word. Multiple entry visa. OMG. Okay, moving on. When you come, you need to have an invitation letter. So in Vietnam, you can get a visa on demand. However, before you can even get on the plane to get to Vietnam, where you can get your visa on demand, you need to have an invitation letter. That letter says someone, like whether it's a travel agency, the government, someone in Vietnam knows that you want to come and visit, they're aware of it, they have marked the dates, and they have your information. This is important because if you don't have it, there are a lot of airlines that won't even let you board the plane. If that was the craziest thing I've ever seen, I would be so upset. My second time coming to Vietnam, I had my invitation letter. I was like, here you go, I'm good. and the ladies behind me did not have their invitation letter, and they did not let them in. And I was like, I would be so upset. Yeah, so it's crazy. If you wait, again, they can rush an invitation letter, but you have to pay so much more. It's just not worth it. Do it ahead of time, and they're not very expensive. The next thing, carry US dollars. So I found that coming to Vietnam, once you get here and you go to get your visa, the counter it's always very busy because there are lots of people. You need exact change. I was gonna say, you need exact change. If you don't have exact change, don't expect to get change back. They don't know. If it's something like maybe $5, they'll give you change back. But if it's something like, I think the fee is like $37. If you give them 40, they're going to keep the 40 and keep it pushing. It's so busy, and I don't think they have like small bills. I think that's why. I don't know for sure. I could be wrong. But what I'm saying is bring US dollars and bring denominations of 5, 10, and 20 to start. Obviously, when you come, you should also bring Vietnamese dong. That's important also, but keep US dollars. At the visa counter, they will accept Vietnamese dong, but I would use that money specifically for like getting a taxi, getting to and from your hotel until you kind of figure things out a little bit. And I would use the US dollars with the visa service. The next thing, carry an additional set of passport photos. So you have your passport, but I would also have 2 or 4 other passport photos. The reason being, when you come into the country, they have you fill out paperwork for the visa, and that paperwork, they require 2 passport photos. If you don't have it, it's not the end of the world, but your time in line will take much longer because then they have to get a photographer, they have to print it out, and you're just like waiting there. And let's be honest, guys, people take their time. So to avoid all of that, just come in with an extra set of passport photos. Depending on why you're here, why you're here, you might need an additional 2 photos. It's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them, I think. Once when I arrived, I think it might be more. When I arrived and got my visa, when I got my business visa, when I had to do paperwork to get my temporary residence card. I needed passport photos for all of that. So those are very handy. Those are the 4 big things that I think would have been helpful to know. You need an invitation letter, the different types of visas. If you're on a tourist visa and you're staying for 6 months or more, get a multiple entry because you have to do visa runs. If you are planning on, at any time, going from traveling and hanging out to wanting to live here and work here, you need to change your visa to a business visa. If you have a business visa, if you can, get a year visa or 6 months, because then you don't have to do a visa run, which is wonderful. And bring US dollars and extra passport photos. That's it. Okay, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye. Because today I'm going to be talking about helpful tips.